Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we will have a comparison between pile, pier, pillar and column. So guys, this question is very important from interview point of view, as this is usually asked during interviews, that how can you differentiate or what are the key differences between these four structural members. Okay, so at the end of this video you will be able to answer this question if you watch complete video, because in this video we are going to discuss their types, you can say each and everything about pile, pier, pillar and column. So guys, you guys are requested to watch complete video, and if you are new to my channel you are requested to please subscribe it and don't forget to press the bell icon to get video updates. So let's get started. First of all, what is pile? A pile is a long cylindrical piece of wood or concrete that is driven into the ground to provide support for a building or other structure. What could be the other structure? Other structure could be bridges or harbors and seaports, etc. Okay? As you can see over here are the few examples of piles which are driven into the ground for different purposes. And you have also observed that piles could be of different materials. As you can see over here in this picture, the piles are of wood, okay, whereas here we can see the piles are RCC, reinforced cement concrete structure. Okay, so it could be of different materials. They are driven into the ground to transfer loads from the structure above to the soil or rock below. Okay, as you can see over here that it is being drilled into the ground to reach a specific surface or specific, you can say, strata. In the upcoming slide we will discuss that what are different types of the piles. Okay, piles can be used in a variety of soil conditions including soft or unstable soil. Now let us discuss the types of piling. Piling is the process of driving or boring pile foundations into the ground beneath a building that is under construction. These piles transfer loads from the structure to the ground, helping to support it. Pile foundations are often used where the ground is too weak to underpin the structure. There are basically two main types of piling. The first one is end-bearing piles. End-bearing piles transmit loads directly to the deeper, strong soil or rock layer somewhere below the surface. It's mean that you already know that there is some harder surface exist below the place where you are drilling, okay, or it could be soft soil. When you have to drive into the ground and to reach the rock surface or hard surface, such type of piling is called as end bearing piles. The other one is friction pile. Friction piles transfer load by friction between the surrounding soil and the surface of the pile over its full length, or you will have to achieve a certain depth that the pile may be restricted or pile may further not be driven into the ground due to the friction provided by the surrounding soil. Okay, such type of pile is called as friction pile. These piling techniques are defined by their purpose, either to pass on load to an endpoint below the surface or otherwise to create friction with the soil along with the length of the pile. Why pile foundations? Why do we use or why do we prefer sometimes or somewhere the pile foundations? Pile foundations are used in the following situations: when there is a layer of weak soil at the surface, this layer cannot support the weight of the building, so the loads of the building have to bypass this layer and be transferred to the layer of stronger soil or rock that is below the weak layer. As you can see over here, as soil comprises of different types of layers and materials and rocks, so if the above laying layer is very lower in density or is very soft, so you will have to bypass these two layers and you will have to transfer the load of the structure to the soil which have comparatively high density or which is able to bear the load of this structure. Okay, when a building has very heavy concentrated loads such as in high-rise structure, bridge or water tank, you will have to transfer the load to the lower layers of the earth surface to distribute it on the larger area. Okay, it's over for pile. Now let us discuss what is pier. A pier is a raised platform that extends out into a body of water, typically for the purpose of landing or loading and unloading of ships or boats. Piers are columns that extend from the foundation to the ground surface. They are typically wider than piles and are used to support loads from the structure above. Piers can be made of concrete, masonry or other materials. As you can see over here, if we talk about the harbors or seaports, so as you can see over here, this is the raised, or you can say the superstructure, which is visible from the front side of the structure. Such type of structure is called as pier. As previously we have discussed the piles. Piles are the structures which are below the ground surface. Okay, and the pier is the structure which is above the ground surface. Okay, and piers are basically columns, okay, that extends from the foundation, and these are typically made for larger structures, the structures which have heavy loads. Okay, so the function of pier and columns are basically same, to transfer the load from the structure above to the structure below, or you can say to the foundation or to the surface ground surface. As you can see over here, this structure which is just like a column is called as pier. Okay, as we have already discussed over here, that they are typically wider than piles and used to support loads from the structure above, and it can be of concrete, masonry or other materials, and it extends out into the body of water. Okay, so the columns which are used as a vertical structural member in water bodies is called as pier. You can also define it in this way. Okay, so this is called as piles, which are below the ground surface or which are hidden and we cannot see them. They are basically sunken into the water, and this is pile cape. Then there starts pier cape, and then it is pier cape, or you can also call it as transom. Okay, and these structural members are used in bridges, etc. What is a pier foundation? A pier foundation is a collection of large diameter cylindrical columns to support the superstructure and transfer large superimposed loads to the firm strata below. It stood several feet above the ground. This is the example of pier foundation. Pier footings transfer the load of the superstructure to the underlying soil or rock. It is constructed by digging a hole in the ground and then filling it with concrete or stone. It is also known as post foundation or column foundation. Piers are often used in areas where the ground is not stable enough to support other traditional foundation types. Now, what are the types of piers? Piers can be defined or divided into following three types. The first one is drilled piers, which is also known as caissons. Drilled piers, also known as caissons, are constructed by drilling deep holes into the ground and filling them with concrete. They are used in situations where the soil conditions are poor or where high loads need to be transferred to deeper soil layers. This is the example of caisson or drilled piers. The second type of pier is driven piers, which in turn also called as piles. Driven piers or piles are long cylinder columns made of steel, concrete or wood driven into the ground using a pile driver. They are commonly used in bridge construction and in areas with soft or unstable soil. The third type of pier is masonry pier. Masonry piers are constructed using bricks, blocks or stones and are often used to support arches or beams in the buildings. They provide both structural support and aesthetic appeal. Now let's have a comparison between pillar and column. The terms pillar and column are often used interchangeably, although in some instances they may be attributed with slightly different meanings as described below. A pillar is a vertical support member and may be constructed as a single piece of timber, concrete or steel, or built up out of the bricks, blocks and so on. Pillar may have a load bearing or stabilizing function, but it may also stand alone as an ornamental element, such as an commemorative pillar or to maintain symmetry. However, whereas a pillar does not necessarily have a load-bearing function, a column is a vertical structural member that is intended to transfer a compressive load. For example, a column might transfer loads from a ceiling, floor or roof slab, or from a beam to a floor or foundations. Columns are typically constructed in masonry, concrete or structural steel. Now let us discuss what are the key differences between these four structural members. First, let us discuss on the basis of depth. Piles are driven deep into the ground while piers and pillars are typically shallower. You can say piles are driven deep into the ground, whereas piers and pillars are the superstructure part of the building or a structure. As you can see over here, the pile cap. Pile cap is the structure, or the you can say the surface which is just above the ground surface, and then below this pile cap is piles, okay, which is underground and one cannot see them, okay. And as we go above, there come the piers. Pier is a superstructure part of the building or any structure, and same as that for pillar and column. Width. If we discuss in terms of width, pillars are typically wider than piers, which are wider than piles. Let us differentiate on the basis of material. While all three can be made of various materials, piles are often made of concrete or steel, while piers and pillars can be made of masonry or other materials. So guys, that's all for today. In the end, you are again requested, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get video updates. That's all for today.